Well, last week we promised to take you for a ride on the Durango and Silverton Railroad.
One of my favorites.
We were over there touring locomotive shops and looking at their conversion to oil.
Right.
And some of the controversies surrounding that and the necessities surrounding that.
Right.
And their conversion to diesel.
Right.
But we're not going for a ride on a diesel.
No.
We didn't come to Durango to ride a diesel.
No.
We came to Durango to ride behind a steam engine. So
Right.
check it out, the Durango and Silverton behind a K36.
Right.
Isn't the scenery here magnificent?
Oh man, this is just the highway to heaven in my opinion.
I love it. And we're not alone. Clear back when this was the Rio Grande, all the way back to the 1900s, people came here to ride this part of the line just to see this.
Right?
Now, the other big fascination here is the equipment.
Right.
Steam locomotives.
Oh man, and they have a bunch, don't they?
They have a bunch. They currently have 4 that they're running. They're working on converting more of these over to oil so they can continue to run them. But they've got something like a dozen steam locomotives here that are all left over from when this was the Rio Grande.
Isn't that awesome?
And they're adding some new locomotives, and I know that a lot of people are sort of upset about that, but with the fire problems, and this was our show last week,
Right.
they're buying diesel engines out of Alaska.
Oh really?
And the train to Silverton today was being run behind diesels.
I see.
So we decided not to take that train. We want to ride behind a steam engine.
Yes.
So it just runs up to the middle point of the canyon and then makes a turn on a Y there and then comes back. As neat as these diesels are, we want to ride behind a steam locomotive.
Right, especially in a canyon, it's just fun.
This is another one of their steam engines that they were converting over to run on oil. It's a fire hazard thing. Again, this was our show last week.
Right.
And they're converting all of their steam engines that historically have run on coal over to running on fuel oil.
I see.
Because it doesn't start fires.
Right.
Well,
Not
as
as-
readily.
Well, not as readily.
Yeah, even the diesel engines will start fires.
Oh,
if they're not.
heavens, yeah.
So they're being extra careful about everything, but part of that care is to convert all their steam engines over to running on fuel oil. Now, one of the complaints, if you will, that you'll hear about this railroad is people say you don't have access to the shops.
Yeah.
But you do.
Yeah, you do.
You do. You have to pay a little extra money, and you have to go through with a supervised visit.
Yeah, tour guide.
A tour guide. And there's some areas they won't take you, but for the most part, if you want to see something, they'll take you there and let you see it.
Right.
But it's their railroad,
Right.
and you have to obey their rules.
Right, and the tour guide was really helpful to explaining a lot.
Oh yeah, I really enjoy having somebody take us through. It keeps us safe,
Right.
and it's very informative. If you have questions, there's someone right there that you can ask the questions of.
Right.
And it isn't expensive.
No, not even.
A few extra dollars, and then a tour guide will take you through pretty much any of the spaces that you want to see.
Right.
Out through the museum, and we'll come out right over.
Now, they've converted part of the roundhouse into a museum.
Yes, they have.
And a lot of really neat equipment in here. A lot of stuff that's just antiques, like this airplane
Oh, isn't that awesome?
that used to fly here in Durango.
Oh my.
And just a lot of very interesting things here in the museum. But a lot of the steam engines that they're currently not using are displayed in here as well.
Which is nice.
I really love 42 here. You know me and early engines.
Oh, me too. They're cute.
They're really, really neat.
I love the Wayne gas pumps.
We have a fascination with Wayne gas pumps.
Yes, we do.
We went through that whole show of restoring one for Garage Mahal.
Right.
This is one of their K-28 locomotives.
That's big. Holy cow.
And they're just not running it right now.
I
But
see.
normally they'd be running this guy. But he needs, like the other engines, he needs to be converted to oil before they're going to run him again.
But at least we get to see it.
Yes, it's here in the museum. Now they are planning to keep one of these locomotives running coal.
Oh, well, that's neat too.
Well, you know, a coal locomotive, the smell
A
and just...
special occasion, especially in the winter. Oh, that brings back memories.
Yep. Well, we're on our way out of town.
We sure are.
The first part of this trip takes you right through the heart of Durango.
I love Durango. It's such a neat town.
Well, and we've stayed in some of these old hotels.
Right.
Which is an experience in its own right. But the beautiful restaurants, hotels, this would be a great place to visit even if it weren't for the railroad.
Right, but the railroad really makes it tops.
Doesn't it? But you know, you could say the same thing about a lot of these beautiful Colorado mountain towns.
Yes, the train just belongs in the mountains. find it so fun and relaxing to ride a train.
I wish we were riding one right now.
Yes, definitely.
But especially a narrow gauge steam excursion.
Right. I love the cars, the passenger cars.
But, you know, any train
Right.
is just fun to ride.
Right, and just watch the vista go by.
Absolutely. Just watch the scenery and enjoy the ride.
There's been a fire up there at the top of the ridge, and there's like 1,100 trees, ghost trees.
We're about to go under an overpass here,
Right.
and there's always people
I know, everywhere.
up here. This is one of everybody's favorite place to get pictures of the train. And I've never been through here where there isn't people up there taking pictures of the train,
Oh man, just every place.
including us.
Right. Right.
That's just a really great place to see this railroad from right up there. arriving at Cascade Canyon.
Yes, isn't this beautiful? Oh.
There's a Y here big enough to hold the entire train, and they will turn us around and we'll head back down canyon. The other trains will continue on all the way to Silverton.
Which is a beautiful ride too.
Yeah, we're about the halfway point here.
Right.
So this was an incredible ride.
Oh man, the scenery is just fantastic.
Yeah, if you've never been to Durango Silverton, you really got to put that on your bucket list.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just an amazing train ride. Well, this was a fun way to finish up the gathering of Victorian locomotives.
Oh, wasn't it though?
What an excursion to Colorado it was.
Right, I didn't want to stop. I wanted it to go on a few more days.
Yeah, absolutely. But all good things come to an end, and this was the last thing we had in mind for our little trip to Colorado.
Right.
Durango and Silverton.
Well, we've got to do it again.
Let's go.
Right.
Oh, it's always wonderful.
Yes.
Ride the Durango and Silverton.
Isn't that fun?
You know, we should do a show on like the top 10 scenic railroads in America.
Oh, right.
And a lot of people would say that it's the Durango Silverton.
That's one of them.
And they may not be wrong.
That's got to be one of them.
That's an amazing, amazing railroad.
Yes.
And just a really great ride. And a bunch of different rides.
Oh, yeah.
Because now they've got so many different options on how you ride it.
Exactly.
Well, if you haven't been over to the channel, pop over to the channel. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. It helps us out. While you're at it, you can click the thumbs up button,
right,
all of those fun things. But it helps other people find the movie when you do all of those things.
Right.
Anyway, the easy way to subscribe will be to click on the blue button, which is coming up just now. You ready for it?
There it is.
Zoink! Right there, the blue button. Well, we're not sure how you found this video on the internet. We hope you didn't find it boring, and we will see you on Tuesday with a fun product.
See you.
Bye-bye.